It is not an understatement when we say that TikTok is getting crazier and crazier with each passing day. People like Buddy Haynes, Duran Spidey, Lovely Peaches, and Paul Breach all emerged from this social media platform, making it a hub for deranged and creepy content creators. While we've dealt with creeps and outlaws emerging from this platform, we have never covered a crazy personality like Jaebaeoffcial, whose entire content is focused on traveling and being plus-sized. Throughout this video, you'll hear terms like body liberation, fat freedom, and fat icon a lot, so brace yourself for the worst. This young content creator with an excessive weight is all about self-love and body positivity. But the troubling thing is, she believes that due to her extreme obesity, she's entitled to get a free seat in an airplane. Not only that, she schools hotels and public places to expand their hallways to accommodate fat people. A short while ago, she blew up on TikTok for creating a petition demanding the FAA make travel accessible for plus-sized people. In this petition, Jae Bae demanded that plus-sized travelers should be given extra seats on flights.
Today, I want to talk about the potential benefits of if my plus-size travel petition was implemented. Firstly, plus-size passengers would no longer be forced to occupy only one seat on an airplane. By providing additional accessible seats, plus-size passengers would have the necessary space to be comfortable during the flight. This would help negate air rage and hostility. Secondly, the reimbursement policy for customers of size who independently purchase a second seat would provide financial relief and fairness. Clear communication of policies would ensure that customers of size have access to all necessary information, making the booking, check-in, and boarding processes more transparent and less stressful. The accommodations outlined, such as larger lavatories, alternative seating arrangements, and a dedicated section for customers of size, would enhance the overall comfort and accessibility of air travel for everyone, not just plus-size passengers. Lastly, employee training on accommodating customers of size would foster a more respectful and inclusive environment, and it would promote a positive travel experience for all passengers, creating a more welcoming and accommodating environment in the airline industry. Click the link in my bio to sign my petition today.
Her entire TikTok page is filled with videos of her complaining that the world is not accommodating and inclusive enough for lazy and fat people like her.
This was right before the incident I'm about to tell you about. On the first leg of the trip, the wheelchair assistance completely failed us. I was left struggling to be okay. There is a video about the incident on my page. That experience was already stressful and humiliating enough, so by the time it was time to fly home, I decided to have my fiance push me in the wheelchair to avoid any more mishaps. Picture this, me, a plus-size woman in a wheelchair, pushing my suitcase with one hand while my fiance did their best to steer. It wasn't the easiest setup, but we were managing. As we were making our way through the terminal, we walked by a group of flight attendants. At first, I thought nothing of it, but then I heard the unmistakable sound of laughter, directed right at us. They didn't even try to hide it. They pointed, laughed, and made snide remarks, and one said with the actual.
She also suffers from various health issues, including pulmonary hypertension, which often hinders her on oxygen support. Interestingly, this condition is directly linked with obesity. Despite her deteriorating health, Jae Bae has never shown interest in losing weight and can often be seen consuming junk.
That people are allowed to eat what they want without feeling guilty about it. Get over it.
Today we'll take a deep dive into the life of this crazy TikToker and discuss some of the cringiest things she's done online. Who is Jaebaeoffcial? So Jaebaeoffcial, or Jalen Shaney, is a 28-year-old woman from the United States. She is mostly known for her TikTok videos focused entirely on her experience as a plus-size, highly obese traveler. She likes to visit different places and explore things that are made especially for people like her. She created a TikTok account in 2019, and her earlier videos are not that problematic. In the initial days of her TikTok journey, she mostly created makeup tutorials and product reviews that resonated with people who were struggling with body image issues. She posted a few videos encouraging people to feel comfortable in their own bodies while sharing her own childhood experiences.
Stop, hold up, I need to say something right freaking now. So hold the damn phone. Press pause, here we go. Here's gonna be some truth. I have so many people that support me, love me, and tell me how proud they are of me and how far I'm gonna go, right? But you know what? It wasn't always that way. And actually, for most of my life, actually since age 6, I was told that I wasn't gonna amount to anything. I was told I was gonna be a drug addict just like my parents, that I was gonna have 3 kids by the time I was 17, and that I wasn't gonna do shit with my life. My whole life, they told me I couldn't, I wouldn't, I shouldn't. And so I, for a minute, believed, I can't, I won't, I couldn't even. But guess what? I did. I went far, and I'm gonna keep going far. And you are too. So if you have somebody in your life that's told you you can't, the only person who gets to decide that you can or can't is you. And that's on period, point blank. You can, you will, go for it. Do you, honey.
Knowing nothing in life, but I gotta get rich. You could check the throwback pics up in that bitch. I'm a girl, I do honey come on my outfit. House text quick, cause I ain't thirsty. See, thirst is mad. They want.
She also actively shared about brands and products that were made specifically for plus-sized people.
Hey there! So I was so excited to get some Q&As. I'm really excited to answer them for you. If you're talking about my crop top that is striped in the last few videos I made, the one where I'm like, girl, wear the crop top, wear the shorts because your body is beautiful. That top came from Torrid. Torrid is literally my #1 place that I shop. This shirt's from Torrid. Most of my clothes are from Torrid, but I also shop at a bunch of different plus size retailers, and I'm gonna be making videos on those. So the shirt that you're talking about is from Torrid, and so is this one. Love them. You should definitely check them out. If you click the link in my bio, you can easily shop Torrid. There's a link that'll take you straight to their page. I seriously love them. They carry up to a size 6X, which I think is very inclusive. They are seriously where I shop all the time, so you should definitely check them out. Click that link in my bio.
In one of her TikTok videos, Jalen also shared that people around her believed that she would amount to nothing in her life. Despite their discouraging views, she managed to complete her BBA in administration. In 2019, she also graduated from Western Governors University with an MBA. If you search through her oldest videos on TikTok, you'll see that instead of losing weight and living a healthy life, she was interested in buying things that would accommodate her unhealthy lifestyle and excessive weight. She's talked about things like plus-size mattresses, plus-size camping chairs, and even plus-size bath towels.
You guys had so many questions about my plus-size friendly chairs, my plus-size friendly camping chairs, so I wanted to tell you some information. These camping chairs changed the game for me and my fiance since we're both plus-size and we're a 6X. These have a weight capacity of 800 pounds. And although these only can carry 800 pounds, there are chairs that can carry up to 1,000 on Amazon, and they're linked in my bio. So if you're looking for plus-size friendly camping chairs or recommendations in general, check out the link in my bio. Here's just a closer look at the chair. Click that link in my bio to check out my plus-size friendly recommendations. Hey there, y'all, it's your girl Jae Bae. I'm a plus-size content creator and travel blogger, and I am starting a series, y'all. It's about plus-size travel tips, my experiences, all the nitty-gritty, everything in between, y'all. Today's video, we're going to talk about towels and how you can make accommodations for yourself while traveling as a plus-size individual. Show of hands for any plus-size person that has gone to a hotel where the towel actually wrapped around their whole body. Oh, wait, that's nobody, because that is not a thing, y'all. Towels at hotels have never accommodated my big old body, and I am here to tell you what you can do so that you can make sure you have a towel that fits you comfortably everywhere you go. Are you tired of your towels fitting you like this? I mean, not fitting you, because that right there, y'all, is not inclusive and it's not what's up. We all know that plus size people deserve to live their best life, and when the towel does not wrap around you all the way, that is not us living our best life. So therefore, I've gone and researched and figured out how we can make sure the towels fit us wherever we go. So I went on Amazon, did some research, and I found these amazing plus size friendly towels that will actually fit plus size bodies. They're actually called like jumbo size towels, blanket towels, whatever you want to call it, but I think that they are going to be super accommodating, and I am going to stock up and bring them wherever I go on vacay now, especially next year on my body positive, fat positive Bali trip, y'all. I am going to bring as many plus size towels as I can, because everybody deserves to use a towel. Everybody deserves to travel comfortably and have things that fit them, right? So towels, yeah, the companies that are making these towels and providing them to hotels, and the hotels need to step their game up, start providing towels that are actually fit people, that actually fit all bodies, not just some bodies, because the majority of people on this earth are plus size, at least in the United States, and therefore we really need the companies to step it up. But until they do, check out these types of towels, y'all. I'm gonna have them linked in my link up in my bio. You can check them out and grab one. Grab a whole set. They're like 4 for $45, which I think is a steal. There you can go. There you go. You have one for your whole family. you, your loved ones, your friends, and everything in between.
While there's no shame in gaining a few pounds here and there, it becomes a serious problem when your weight reaches a point where standard furniture can no longer support you, when everyday necessities like chairs, beds, and even transportation need to be specially modified to accommodate your growing body. It's no longer just a matter of personal choice. It becomes a health crisis over and over again. She has posted videos complaining about small bathroom stalls, bar stools, bleachers, and whatnot. According to Jalen, everything should be changed and reconstructed so that people like her, who deliberately choose to stay unfit, should be accommodated.
Stuff Fat People Hate, Part 3.
Here's a suggestion. Shed some pounds, and you'll no longer be afraid of mundane things like plastic chairs. With crappy and nonsensical content like this, it's unnerving that she managed to get over 140,000 followers on TikTok. Not only that, she's collaborated with brands like Google, Hilton Hotels, and even McDonald's. On her blog, Jae Bae Productions, she's stated that she is very dedicated to the fat liberation movement, which fuels her mission to challenge discrimination, demand systemic change, and create a more inclusive society. Before we go ahead in her story, let's discuss the term fat liberation. What does it mean? So, Wikipedia describes this term like this. The fat acceptance movement, also known by various other names such as fat pride, fat empowerment, fat liberation, and fat activism, is a social movement that seeks to eliminate the social stigma of obesity. While there's nothing wrong with being a little chubby or overweight, we should all agree that obesity affects your organs, mobility, and overall health. There's nothing normal or acceptable about being excessively overweight because it's not a disability. People like Jalen, who really do not want to work out or change their lifestyles, are using this term to present themselves as a marginalized community entitled to get all sorts of free things. People like Jalen, weighing 600 to 800 pounds, are not normal. She even once shared a video using a mobility aid in a supermarket, knowing that she was not disabled and perfectly able to walk on her feet.
Accessibility is for everyone. No one should feel ashamed or embarrassed for using the tools they need to navigate the world. Your worth is not determined by your size or ability. You deserve to feel comfortable and confident wherever you go. Using mobility aids is a sign of strength and self-care, not weakness or defeat. Don't let anyone make you feel otherwise. Don't let anyone else's opinions or judgments hold you back from living your life to the fullest. You are capable and worthy of all the things you desire. Your body is worthy of respect and care, regardless of its size or shape. You have the right to move through the world with ease and confidence. Accessibility is a human right, not a privilege. Let's work together to create a world where everyone can access the things they need without barriers or discrimination.
She also frequently demands wheelchairs in hotels and airports due to the mobility issues caused by her excessive weight. What makes this even more concerning is her perspective on the situation. Rather than acknowledging that her limited mobility stems from personal choices regarding her health, she insists on viewing it as a natural disability. She openly expresses entitlement to mobility aids wherever she goes, expecting the same accommodations as individuals with genuine medical disabilities. This mindset has sparked significant criticism, as many people believe she's exploiting accessibility resources meant for those who have no control over their physical limitations. While her content was very subtle at the start of her journey, it spiraled out of control and became extremely morbid as Jalen started getting followers. Her fall from grace started with some travel tips that were exclusively for plus-sized travelers. She also frequently shared her experiences with different airlines, telling people about airline companies that accommodated fat people.
Let's talk about what it's like to fly on United Airlines when you are plus size. United Airlines requires that if you cannot sit comfortably in one seat with the armrest down the entire flight duration, that you must purchase a second seat. When booking ahead of time, you can buy the second seat at the same time as your first for the same exact fare. If you do not want to buy a second seat and the option is available, you can choose to upgrade to first, business, or premium cabin class. United Airlines requires that you must be able to fasten your seatbelt with only one extension. And just to mention again, United Airlines does require that you're able to have the armrest down for the entire duration of the flight. So if you have 2 seats, obviously you have more room. The nice thing is, when you're going with United Airlines and you buy 2 seats, it does double the amount of checked baggage that you can bring. However, this doesn't ensure that you'll be able to bring twice the amount of carry-ons because that is determined by TSA, so check those guidelines. Thanks so much for watching. Bye everyone!
Things that plus-size travelers hate. When the tray table can't come down, worrying about asking for a seatbelt extender. Having little to no room to move. Narrow aisles and bulkhead seats. Tiny airplane bathrooms. Worrying you're going to break the toilet. Getting pat down because you're fat. Tiny airport chairs with armrests.
Everything was great at this point, but then she started posting videos of things she hated as a plus-size traveler. The comments on this video were insane. People suggested that all these struggles should motivate Jaylin to lose weight. Some people also commented that it was Jaylin's own fault that she was facing all these issues while traveling in an airplane. This video literally blew up on TikTok and received over 17.2 million views. From this point on, Jaylin's content became focused on complaining about things that were not size-inclusive or accommodating for fat people. She had a problem with airplane toilets, food trays, seatbelts, airport chairs, airplane aisles, and literally everything but herself. She wanted the world to be changed. According to Jaylin, airline companies should make bigger planes with bigger seats and humongous toilets so that people like her should feel included. Otherwise, they're just a fat-phobic company that does not cater to all human sizes. How absolutely insane this sounds. She also did part 3 of this video sometime later, in which she complained about boat ladders, rental cars, and even turnstiles.
Things plus-size travelers hate when traveling part 3. Boat ladders, pool ladders, all ladders. Always wondering if you're going to fit. Not being able to find clothes your size anywhere. Getting ridiculous comments about being a fat traveler, turnstiles, and worrying you'll get stuck. Despite the challenges, travel is worth it.
If you're that worried about getting stuck in turnstiles, maybe try practicing some self-control and losing weight. The fact that she refers to these issues as challenges is downright laughable. These aren't obstacles she was born with. She created them herself by promoting the idea that fat people should eat whatever they want without consequences. It's simple cause and effect. If you constantly consume butter-drenched meals and refuse to move, of course you'll gain hundreds of pounds and eventually find yourself struggling to squeeze through a turnstile. There's nothing surprising about it. It's just the inevitable result of her own choices. After these videos blew up on TikTok and Jaylin started getting undeserved attention, she took the opportunity to name and shame a few airlines that did not accommodate her plus-size needs during the flights. According to Jaylin, plus-size travelers should not travel with these airlines because they either have very cramped seats or non-inclusive policies. She named a certain airline, telling viewers that this company refuses to transport a fat passenger if their flight is full and the passenger demands a second seat.
As a plus-size travel blogger, I am never flying with these airlines. Let me just start out by saying these are all just my opinions. In no way do you have to listen to me, but if you were asking me for my advice, this is what I would tell you. So many of you have asked me which airlines you should completely avoid if you're plus size, and the first one on my list is American Airlines. So here are the reasons why I wouldn't fly with American Airlines. Their seats tend to be on the smaller size, and there's like horror stories of plus size people being like dragged off their planes, and that just isn't happening for me. The next airline that I avoid as a plus size person is United Airlines. Their seating is just a little bit smaller, again, kind of like American Airlines. And another airline that I avoid as a plus size traveler is Hawaiian Airlines, and let me tell you why. They reserve the right to not board or not transport a plus size passenger if the flight is full and they need a second seat. So that's why I would avoid them. If you want to know which airlines I think are great for plus size passengers and just get more general plus size travel advice, make sure to hit that follow button.
Well, this policy makes perfect sense to a lot of people. Of course, an airline is not going to deboard passengers if a plus-size traveler demands a second seat. And speaking of second and third seats, Jaebae became obsessed with this idea in 2023. She made countless videos discussing how overweight and obese travelers should get free seats in airplanes, and how it's extremely unfair that fat people pay extra because of their size. She became so obsessed with this idea that she created a petition in 2023 on change.org, requesting all plus-sized people to sign it. The petition stated that the FAA should mandate that all airlines provide bigger seats to plus-sized customers, train their staff to cater to the needs of fat people, and even build bigger lavatories suited for unfit and unhealthy passengers. She even demanded that airlines should provide second and even third seats to obese customers if necessary, and they should do this completely free of charge.
So you want to hear my hot take on plus-size travel and why I think every plus-size traveler should get a free second and even third seat on an airplane? Then you better keep watching and sign my petition to make some real change. Let's just state facts. Plus-size travelers need more space. And many people agree that plane seats are too small, even for the average-sized person. As a plus-size traveler myself, I know how uncomfortable and unsafe it can be to squeeze into a tiny airplane seat. We are not asking for special treatment or luxury accommodations. We simply want enough space to travel comfortably and safely without fear of being discriminated against because of our size. It's truly that simple. If you agree that every traveler deserves to fly comfortably and without fear of discrimination, then go ahead and please sign my petition and share it with everybody that you know. Let's work together to make air travel more inclusive and accommodating for everyone. You assume that this petition right here is solely about getting free seats for people of size? Let me clarify. This petition is about ensuring that air travel is comfortable for everyone, regardless of their size. This petition is about plus-size people, tall people, people with disabilities, and so many more. However, as a plus-size traveler myself, I'm speaking on behalf of myself and plus-size travelers everywhere who have also experienced discomfort and discrimination while traveling. We are calling on the FAA to require that all airlines implement a clear customer size policy. This policy should include clear guidelines on accommodating larger passengers. Travelers of size often face physical discomfort and health risks when forced to occupy only one seat on an airplane. This petition is not just about free seats for travelers of size. It's about creating a more inclusive and accessible environment for all.
Shockingly, if you go to change.org and search for Jaebae's petition, you'll find that it already has over 40,000 signatures. This is insanity on another level. You are demanding airlines to give you extra seats that cost hundreds of dollars per flight, reconstruct their lavatories, and expand their aisles only to accommodate a small percentage of people. The video in which Jaebae talked about the petition received over 2 million views, and she instantly became the subject of online memes and mockery. However, this backlash and negative attention did not discourage Jaebae, as she continued to fight for size inclusivity and fat equality. In her next video, she clarified that her petition was not just about plus-sized people. She added that taller individuals, people with disabilities, and people seeking comfortable travel experience would also benefit from her demands.
Today, I want to talk about the misconceptions regarding my petition. I recently started a petition that demands the FAA to protect plus-size travelers and customers of size, which millions have heard about now around the world. My petition is about ensuring that every individual has access to safe and comfortable air travel. It's not just about plus-size individuals, but also about individuals with disabilities who may require additional space or accommodations to travel safely and comfortably. By having regulations in place that protect plus-size individuals, it would also benefit those with disabilities, ensuring that they have the space and accommodations they need to travel comfortably. Taller individuals also face many of the same challenges that plus-size travelers face when traveling by air. Legroom is often limited, and plane seats are designed for the average size individual. By having regulations in place that protect plus-size travelers, taller individuals would also benefit greatly. Lastly, there are individuals who physically take up more space regardless of their size, and they also deserve to have access to safe and comfortable air travel. By signing my petition, we are not only advocating for the rights of plus-size individuals, but for the rights of all individuals who face challenges when traveling by air. Let's stand together and demand that the FAA takes action to protect the rights of all air travelers. You can check out my petition by clicking the link in my bio or heading to change.org/plus-size travel. Thank you so much for watching and for your support. Make sure to hit that follow button for more plus-size travel tips and advocacy.
Well, people in the comments section of this video had very interesting things to say. One person commented, "You can literally get assistance on flights for disabilities. My Nana's gotten seats with more legroom for years because of her knee, free of charge." Another person said, "That's where class travel comes into place. If you want to have a comfortable, appreciable space, upgrade from economy class. There is a solution already." These comments make perfect sense. Airlines usually have policies in place for disabled people, but expecting an airline to accommodate you only because you refuse to lose weight is outrageous and completely unacceptable. Airlines offer different classes for a reason. If someone finds economy seating too cramped and desires more space and comfort during a flight, they always have the option to upgrade to business or first class, where they can enjoy extra legroom and premium service just like everyone else who pays for it.
Plus-size travelers deserve better. This article came out just a few days ago, and we're going to talk about it in this video. All I had to do was read the title of this article, and I was automatically upset. A British Airways passenger was stuck in his seat for 3 hours after landing and had to be taken out of his first class seat with a hoist. What this passenger had to experience is unacceptable, and this is the exact reason why I started my plus-size travel petition this year. And as a matter of fact, they actually linked to the CNN article that talks about my petition in this article. I'm fighting every single day for inclusivity in the airline industry. That way, things like this don't happen to plus-size passengers, because this is absolutely unfathomable. This passenger did what all those people who say to do in my comments, just simply upgrade to first class, and this should prove as an example to you why that doesn't always work or apply. This man was stuck in his seat, unable to move for 9.5 hours. That is not okay, and nobody should have to endure that. That comes with pain, embarrassment, humiliation, and more. So if you agree and think that no human should have to endure this, go ahead and sign my plus-size travel petition today. Together, we can fight to make travel more inclusive and make sure that things like this don't happen anymore.
As Jalen's bizarre and outrageous videos gained traction, major news outlets also took notice of her story. Prominent platforms like Daily Mail, CNN, and the New York Post covered her controversial petition, advocating for more comfortable and inclusive air travel for plus-sized individuals. These reports detailed how Jalen demanded wider seats, free extra accommodations, and other unrealistic adjustments, expecting airlines to change their entire system to cater specifically to overweight passengers. Amidst this chaos, Jalen continued to upload videos to her TikTok account, preaching self-love and complaining about each and everything. According to Jalen, if airline companies refuse to make severe adjustments to their policies, it'll be nothing but sheer discrimination. Speaking of discrimination, she posted a video on May 14, 2024 that caused quite a commotion online. In this video, Jalen revealed that while she was traveling, she faced humiliation and discrimination at the SeaTac airport. We already discussed that she has mobility issues, meaning that she can walk, but doing so often causes her extreme discomfort. She always requests wheelchair assistance while boarding the plane, so she would not have to walk up the jet bridge. Jalen claimed in her TikTok video that while boarding her flight at SeaTac Airport in Washington, the airport employee assigned to assist her completely ignored her and walked ahead, leaving her to struggle on her own. As a result, she was forced to walk up the jet bridge on foot, which she said caused her oxygen levels to drop.
My ordeal at SeaTac Airport will shock you. This experience I'm about to share with you is yet another example of why employee sensitivity training, a demand outlined in the plus-size travel petition, is desperately needed. I'm a plus-size wheelchair user, and on a recent flight to the SeaTac Airport, I requested wheelchair assistance, as I always do. When it came time for me to deplane, I saw the employee who would be assisting me with my wheelchair waiting for me in the entry of the jet bridge. As I approached her and she realized she'd be assisting me and not one of the smaller passengers, she started to walk away with the wheelchair while making comments about my size. Even when I told her I really needed the chair and needed her to let me sit down in it, she blatantly ignored me and kept walking. I was then forced to walk up one of the longest jet bridges I've encountered, and she didn't stop. By the time she let me reach the wheelchair and sit down, my lips were white. My oxygen levels had dropped and I almost fainted. This was my first time flying without oxygen. This woman just assumed I could walk and would rather me do that, instead of her having to push someone my size up the jet bridge. All the other attendants wheeled their passengers up the jet bridge, but my needs were disregarded. This is discrimination. Nobody should be treated this way. Share your story at change.org/size travel.
She narrated the entire ordeal in her video, pressing the fact that discrimination against fat people is a real thing. However, people who watched this video thought differently. One person commented on Jalen's video saying, "You're obviously able to walk. The fact that taking a few steps is that hard on your body should probably be a wake-up call for you. Humans aren't meant to be morbidly obese." Another person commented, "I have health issues myself, which has deterred me from flying, going to sports events, etc., but I've never blamed anyone for it. Most of these accessibility services are complimentary, not mandatory." All these commenters have a fair point. Many people also argued that expecting a single airport employee to push someone of Jalen's size up the jet bridge is not only unreasonable, but also a potential safety hazard. Assisting disabled individuals is an essential part of airport services, but it should not come at the expense of an employee's physical well-being. If someone requires that level of assistance due to their size, alternative solutions such as additional staff or proper mobility equipment should be considered rather than placing the burden on a single worker. Some people also jokingly advised Jalen to request a forklift next time to escape this kind of discrimination. While Jalen demands the world to accommodate her overweight body, reconstruct everything, and provide her with free services and stuff, she herself repeats the mantra of food is fuel. There are numerous videos of her consuming donuts, cokes, and all sorts of rubbish while telling people to embrace food freedom.
Let's get one thing straight. Food has no moral value. It's not good or bad, it's just food. And guess what? Fat people are allowed to eat what they want without justifying it to anyone. As someone who lives with an eating disorder, I've spent years unlearning the lies society tells us. Lies like, you have to earn your food, that you should feel guilty for enjoying it, that you have to work it off later. None of that is true. The truth is, food is fuel, food is joy, and food is connection. And fat people deserve to experience all of that without shame or judgment, period. Here's another hard truth. Shame isn't a weight loss plan. Judgment doesn't make anyone healthier. And your unsolicited opinions about my food choices, they don't belong here. Fat people don't owe you diets. We don't owe you weight loss journeys. We don't owe you a damn thing. We're allowed to just exist and enjoy life while we're at it. So if my eating offends you, that's your problem, not mine. I refuse to shrink my body or my appetite to make you comfortable. My body, my rules, my food, end of story. It's that time of year again when the diet industry starts pushing those new year, new you promises. Let me tell you something. You don't need to change a damn thing. I'm not here for any of that. No, I won't be joining. Your New Year's resolution diet plan. I'm all about embracing food, freedom, and that includes eating whatever the heck I want. The diet industry wants you to believe you need to change your body to have a great year. Well, guess what? You're already great, and so is your body. I don't need to punish myself with restrictive diets or guilt over enjoying food. Food doesn't have a moral value. So let's ditch the diet culture and celebrate ourselves instead. We don't need to change to enjoy life. We're already living it to the fullest. No resolutions, just real, unapologetic joy, because this year we're choosing freedom. Freedom from the lies, the guilt, and the toxic diet culture. We're here for the good food, the good vibes, and all the happiness we can get. You're perfect just as you are, and that's worth celebrating every damn day.
This extremely unhealthy lifestyle is clearly taking a toll on Jalen as she struggles with multiple health issues. She is frequently seen using oxygen support in her videos, which significantly impacts her mobility and overall quality of life. When questioned about her constant need for oxygen, Jalen explained that she suffers from pulmonary hypertension, a condition that causes breathing difficulties, chest pain, and dizziness.
Hey there, thanks for asking this question. I actually get this question all the time, especially being somebody in a larger body. A lot of people assume that I have oxygen because of my weight or something like that. The reason I actually wear oxygen is because I have a rare lung disease. It is called pulmonary hypertension, not to be mistaken with high blood pressure. It is an actual lung disease that affects a lot of people. Weight is not really a factor that goes into it. It affects a lot of babies. It affects people of all ages, and they don't really know what causes it. So I wear oxygen because my oxygen levels don't stay high unless I'm wearing it. And so yeah, I have pulmonary hypertension, rare lung disease, which is why I wear oxygen.
However, while Jalen insists that her condition is unrelated to her excessive weight, medical sources indicate that maintaining a healthy body weight can significantly alleviate the symptoms of pulmonary hypertension. Despite facing severe health challenges and mobility limitations, Jalen remains adamant about refusing to lose weight and instead attempts to normalize her dangerously unhealthy lifestyle. If she's choosing to stay obese and unhealthy, it is entirely her own decision. However, it's extremely unfair of her to expect the world to accommodate her nonsensical needs and fulfill her insane demands. If her infamous petition amused you, what you're about to hear next will certainly blow your mind. In October 2024, Jalen uploaded a new video, shifting her focus from airline companies to hotels. In this absolutely unnerving video, Jalen listed numerous things that hotels should do to ensure all fat people enjoy a comfortable stay at their facilities. These suggestions or demands were absolutely insane and made zero sense. As if wanting free seats in an airplane was not enough, Jalen now wanted hotels to expand their hallways and rebuild their elevators to make them more spacious. Apart from that, she demanded bigger chairs, sturdier beds, and luxurious bathrooms.
These are the exact steps that hotels can take to be more size inclusive and accessible for travelers of all sizes. Number 1 on the list, provide sturdy, wider chairs without armrests. Number 2 on the list, ensure beds with strong support and a higher weight capacity. Number 3, make elevators and hallways spacious. Number 4, install grab bars in showers and near toilets. Number 5, train staff to be respectful, understanding, and accommodating to travelers of all sizes. Number 6, provide pool lifts and handrails at the entry of the pool. Number 7, hotel restaurants should have roomy seating options. Number 8, offer larger beach and pool seating. Number 9, hotels should provide size-inclusive bathrobes. And hotels should also provide bath sheets or plus-size friendly towels so that travelers of all sizes and abilities can use them comfortably. And last but not least, display clear and accurate information on these amenities on hotel websites. Include weight limits, seat dimensions, and things like that. By implementing these size-inclusive hotel amenities, hotels can become more inclusive and accommodating. Be sure to hit that follow button for more plus-size travel tips.
If hotels were to seriously consider implementing these demands, they would have to invest millions of dollars, not just adding in a few minor accommodations, but in completely overhauling their infrastructure. This would mean reconstructing entire building layouts to cater to a very small percentage of people, which is simply not practical and highly unnecessary. While it is understandable that sturdier, more comfortable chairs without armrests could be beneficial for individuals with disabilities, many of these other demands Jalen has listed are highly unrealistic. Expecting hotels to install oversized beds in every room just to accommodate a small percentage of people is completely unreasonable. Hotels are designed to cater to the general public, and making drastic changes for a niche group would be financially and logistically impossible. Beyond that, Jalen also expects hotels to reconstruct their entire buildings by widening hallways and expanding elevators. Does she even realize the astronomical costs this would incur? How would hotel chains, especially historic buildings or small boutique hotels, even go about making such extensive renovations? And the list of demands does not stop there. Jalen insists that hotels should provide larger bathrooms, adjustable shower handles, raised toilets, handrails near pools, larger beach seating, and even special bathrobes and towels tailored to accommodate extremely plus-sized guests. While accessibility is important, these requests go far beyond what is reasonable, turning standard hospitality into an unrealistic expectation. Apart from all these things, she also wants hotels to communicate these amenities on their websites. So, aside from booking details, hotels should also mention the weight capacity their beds can take, the dimensions of their chairs and seats, and the size of their hallways. If this is not insane enough, Jalen next goes about targeting restaurants, telling them a bunch of things they need to change about their seating arrangements to accommodate fat people.
If you've ever been uncomfortable in a restaurant because of your size, I know the struggle, and that's why I'm making today's video. Today's video is all about how restaurants can be more size inclusive and accessible for people of all sizes and abilities. Here are my 10 solutions for how restaurants can create a more inclusive environment. Solution number 1, comfortable seating. Restaurants should provide spacious and sturdy chairs without armrests so that people of all sizes can dine comfortably. Solution number 2, flexible table arrangements. Solution number 3, accessible restrooms. Solution number 4, reservation flexibility. Allow guests to request seating preferences during the reservation process. Solution number 5, provide key information on your website. Solution number 6, ensure that your tables are not secured to the ground. Solution number 7, offer more room in booth seating. Solution number 8, staff training. Solution number 9, outdoor dining. If you've got an outdoor dining area, make sure you have some chairs without armrests. And last but not least, solution 10, Showcase photos. Consider showcasing photos of your typical seating and table setups on your website.
Throughout this video, the main concern Jalen raises is uncomfortable and small seating in restaurants. Well, we've heard Jalen complain about cramped seating, uncomfortable chairs, and non-sturdy benches at least 1,000 times in this short documentary. It's almost like she can't fit anywhere, whether it's an airplane seat or a restaurant booth. It's high time that people like her, who are actively waving the flag of fat acceptance and body liberation, realize the fact that the world does not revolve around them. If they are unable to fit anywhere, they probably need dieting and physical exercise rather than giant chairs. Jalen, in her quest to make fat liberation a thing, has gone completely insane. She's even introduced a certification, especially for fat people, which will allow people like her to easily access plus-sized friendly places. Yes, you heard that right, a certification for fat people. If this sounds unbelievable, just read about it in Jalen's own words. The idea of a fat certification raises a lot of questions. Who decides what qualifies as fat-friendly? And most importantly, how far does this go? Should every industry, from airlines to theme parks, be forced to redesign their spaces to accommodate a tiny percentage of the population that refuses to make healthier choices? The entitlement here is through the roof. Taking her self-appointed mission even further, Jalen has even created a GoFundMe page, urging people to donate money so she can continue her work in representing the fat community. She claims that these funds will allow her to push for more inclusivity and accessibility for plus-sized individuals. However, many people are skeptical of her intentions, questioning whether she truly aims to help others or if she is simply using her platform as a way to gain financial support without making meaningful contributions.
Hey friends and future allies, I'm Jae, a passionate advocate for fat liberation. For years, I've been fighting against the discrimination fat people face in travel, healthcare, mental health, and beyond. This mission is deeply personal to me because I know what it's like to be unseen and unheard. I've poured my heart and soul into creating resources, sparking conversations, and so much more to amplify our voices and demand the respect we deserve. But I can't do it alone anymore. This work has required immense sacrifices, time, energy, and sometimes my own well-being. Now, I'm reaching out to you for help. Your support can make a tangible difference, not just for me, but for everyone in the fat community. With your contributions, I can continue creating impactful content, organizing events, and driving systemic change toward a more inclusive world. Together, we can empower people to live unapologetically and dismantle the barriers that hold us back. Whether it's a donation, sharing this message, or simply standing with us, every action brings us closer to the world we all deserve. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Let's make this world better together.
A person commented under Jalen's video saying, this is an honest question, but you don't actually list what you've done or show it. That would go a long way to showing what you mean to do. Saying this in a 1-minute video really isn't enough given what you're asking. As someone who weighs more than you, I kind of see a lot more than most. But at the same time, I don't expect people to take my word for it on just that alone. You kind of need to show what you've done for others. This person has an extremely valid point. While Jalen constantly talks about being a fat icon and a fat activist, she has not done any real thing for the fat community to date, except for just blabbering on the internet and making unreasonable demands. In fact, people like Jalen, who promote the idea of being unfit and unhealthy as acceptable, are actually harming society. There are numerous overweight influencers on TikTok who are pushing the concept of fat acceptance with their extremely problematic videos. Watch these TikToks, for instance.
I hate when people say that wheelchairs are only for people who need them.
Without me, my wheelchair is useless. Without my wheelchair, I am useless.
Because when they say that, what they mean is wheelchair users are for people who are paralyzed. But not everyone who is a wheelchair user is paralyzed. I think we should do away with strollers because toddlers can stand.
Get in there.
You know why we use strollers? Because we do need them. We need them. And you know what? Some adults need strollers too. And that stroller is a wheelchair.
It's like riding a bull, you gotta lean with it.
What is your commitment to making disabled people and fat people suffer all the time?
I wanna go home.
Because life sucks, okay? And if it makes a difference between you going outside and not going outside, use the fucking wheelchair and go outside. If you actually cared about people's health, you would stop discrediting that.
Welcome to A Day in the Life of a Fat Activist. I start the day off feeding my cat some treats because she needs to know that unless she's fat, I won't love her. Then I took a bath because I am far too lazy to stand and need to preserve all the calories that I can for the day. Then I filmed some TikToks, making sure to glorify obesity and show everyone how cool and trendy it is to be fat. On my way to the doctor's, I stopped at Dunkin' and got the sugariest coffee possible and ate 24 donuts. At the doctor, I made sure he knew that I knew more than him, and I berated him over any medical advice or testing he wanted to do. After that, I headed to my yoga class, where instead of taking the class, I sat in the back and yelled at everyone, telling them to stop exercising and to get fat instead. Because being skinny is bad. Cheers. Stay fat, y'all.
You said forever, now I drive alone past your soul, past
The fat acceptance movement started with good intentions. It was meant to fight against body shaming and help people feel confident in their own skin. But somewhere along the line, it took a dangerous turn. Instead of encouraging people to love themselves while also making healthy choices, it now promotes the idea that extreme obesity is perfectly fine, and even something to be proud of. The reality is, being severely overweight comes with serious health risks like heart disease, diabetes, and joint problems. Pretending otherwise doesn't change the facts, and normalizing an unhealthy lifestyle only leads more people to suffering in the long run. Another major issue with fat acceptance is that it shifts the blame away from personal responsibility and onto society. Instead of acknowledging that weight gain is often linked to poor diet and lack of exercise, activists demand that airlines, hotels, and public spaces change everything to accommodate them. While accessibility for people with disabilities is crucial, expecting businesses to install oversized seats, remodel entire buildings, and provide special treatment just because someone refuses to lose weight is unreasonable. It sends the message that personal choices don't have consequences, and that the world should adapt to unhealthy lifestyles instead of encouraging healthier habits. Perhaps the most harmful effect of fat acceptance is how it influences younger generations. Social media is flooded with influencers who glorify being overweight and dismiss any health concerns as fat phobia. This can be increasingly misleading, especially for teenagers and young adults who might start believing that obesity has no downsides. Instead of inspiring people to take care of their bodies, this movement encourages them to double down on unhealthy habits while attacking anyone who suggests that losing weight could improve their quality of life. Accepting your body is one thing, but promoting a lifestyle that leads to chronic illness and early death is another. Tell us what you think about Jaylyn and her story in the comments section below. Do you think her demands are valid, or do you find her responsible for promoting unhealthy ideas? We'll highly appreciate your opinions. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Also, click the bell icon so you'll be notified every time we upload a new video.